Oh. Mm, so big. And let me say good evening, folks. The time check on the clock. It is exactly 28 minutes running up to 11 o'clock here in Liberia. And I say welcome. And for those of you just joining us, today marks the 7th day in the month of June. The year is 2025. And June 7 becoming to be your history now in Liberia. Because some of the major political issues now, the guys now are making those happenings to happen on June 7th. Major political activities, though. And June 7th is a day that they are selecting as the date and for major happenings, June 7th. So it's a good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Wherever you find yourself, you are listening to 96.1 and find us on the Facebook, the Closing Acumen. Welcome. My name is Ansu Kesalive. Great to be here, man. After the weekend, especially on Saturday. Yeah. And so let me say welcome to the show, welcome to the program, folks. This is Truth FM for Dupont Road, Painesville City. This is the nation number one network, number one BKX media house here indeed. And we broadcast live and direct from Oxford Nation's capital, broadcasting from the nation's biggest city, Painesville City. And we definitely um, we go across the city, we come across Liberia, we reach as far as the border. Can you imagine Sierra Leone, Africa, Guinea? We hit there. So let me have to every one of you. The major bulldogs will say that welcome to Post Argument today. If you're monitoring us, welcome to Truth FM also. For those of you in the 15 counties already, we are getting all clear, so it's no doubt. Let me say good evening, welcome. For those of you finding us online, I say hello to every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon to you. And back home here, it is night hour already, midnight. So I said, yeah, welcome to your number one nighttime platform here. This platform is balanced, not for, not against, but give you the opportunity to speak to your leaders, give you the opportunity to talk about major issue in your country, especially things that are affecting our country. So we just talked about it right here, and we give you the audience the opportunity to participate. As I said, it was major happening. The people had taken June 7 now to be, I don't know, should I say a major deal for political activities. June 7. It just becoming to go into Liberia history. Yeah, history again with Mike June 7 today. History again with Mike the June 7 during the past regime of President Weah. So let's see again. Boga June 7 is March today, maybe next year. June 7 again. All right, folks. So it's going to be very interesting tonight. It's going to be a running edition. When I say a running edition, because our panelists and also the guests coming on tonight. Anthony Icy, David Jackson is already behind the screen already. We picking him up. Sunday will be joining him alongside with our panelists. Will be coming on the show to talk some major issue here back home here. Closing argument. We put dogs in the very hard-working and strong team. We're in Central Monrovia to follow all the activities, the happenings indeed from the Monrovia Central Prison for the very first time on a Saturday for the very happening like Liberia for I don't know how many years. I have cases too in which it goes to the police station on a Friday and they tell me that you cannot we cannot conclude or this cannot go to the court until Monday. So it got tomorrow is Saturday. But for today again, June 7th, I say another Saturday uh, to see what happened today. those accused lawmakers were sent to the court, and then from there, next thing we saw, then the team of police officers took them to the Monrovia Central Precinct. But very young, energetic reporter of this closing argument indeed was in Central Monrovia at Myean. He was there covering all the activities, running behind the police officers and also supporters for those lawmakers arrested today. He was there with a camera. So let me just begin on. Anthony Arce is already on too. So he's the guest for tonight. Julius will soon come on. Tomalin, the rest of the guys will be joining the team shortly. So let's just be on Maya quickly, 5 minutes before getting some more videos they said from today. So he will just briefly tell you from the police headquarters to the court and then to the central precinct, the one we call South Beach. There where the guys are now. So might get close to the microphone while you're setting up the video, so you can just tell I saw you, your camera, everything dropping from you today, running, falling. I said, wow, very young man is into the media. You have just started. Just tell us, yeah, tell a little bit what happened today in Monrovia, from the police headquarters to the court and then to South Beach.
Okay, so I just like to say thank you and thanks to our followers and our viewers and to our guest also who is also in studio there. Uh, we have someone in the back, so let me try to bring them on until. Okay, so I will continue. Hami is in the back. Okay, so the incident happened yesterday where we were at the Liberia National Police. We started from yesterday and today we went there again. At certain point in time, certain media institutions were denied from entering
Mm.
the grants of the Temple of Justice. But at a point in time, we some media institution, when you call our media name and they are going to
The
deny
institution you
you,
from, when you call the name.
name they are going to deny you. So we rather using other institution name to maneuver our ways in
So
because
closing argument name will call
no,
Truth FM name will
I called
call
you F a name and they denied me. So when I
Truth
called,
FM
yeah,
name will call
and they
at the
denied me.
police headquarters.
Yeah. So when I called the closing argument, they say, wow, okay, you can enter. So when I entered the grounds of the Capitol building, where
Amen.
Commander came and he asked me, where are you going? I said, I'm going on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. He told me, say, no, you cannot go. I said, why? He said, show me your ID card. I showed him my ID card. He was like, how you manage to enter? I told him, say, but someone already allowed me in. So right away, I called one of my senior brother, Martin Cody. It was how Martin talked with him. And he said, you don't want to talk to Martin. So at a certain point in time, when I look at everything, I said, let me come out to avoid problem because from local team they were bringing out tension and I couldn't do anything and no one there to back me up. So
Mm.
only my one was at the back of the gate, right between the executive mansion and that of the Temple of Justice. So when I look at everything, I saw huge police and I couldn't do anything, so I have to come outside the fence. And while doing my live coverage, I started to see people running coming out of the fence because
Mm.
I was interviewing some supporters from the lawmakers who came and I also interviewing some seditious. And people started to express that dissatisfaction in the process, saying that the Boaka Kun government is trying to wish on the former speaker and others. So I asked them, why is it that you are saying they are trying to wish on them? They said because they want to score a political grade. In which way they are trying to score a political grade by carrying the former speaker at the Moreover Central Prison.
Mm.
Likewise, the CDC government did it with former Chief Justice Glover Musu Scott. So
Okay.
that's why they are trying to pay their debt by carrying the former speaker and others. So when we were the first to get on the scene at the Moreover Central Prison,
Mm-hmm.
because we're outside the fence. So before other colleagues who were in, before they could come outside, I was already on board and was at the Moreover Central Prison. And the vehicle entered the area of Vogue. Vote crowd could come at that time. They already finished carrying them in. So
Okay.
Citizen couldn't do anything to penetrate into to whatever they wanted
The
to
plan
do.
to do.
Yeah. So we started to see women crying, children crying, everyone crying around. For why exactly? Because some of their relatives, some of them, their family members were indicted and sentenced to jail. So from the court, we have not getting any information how long they are going to spend there, whether a month or a year. But
Yeah.
the information we are getting is that Monday they are going to go back to the court, but for why exactly we don't know. But the sedition today, I attended the press conference at the party headquarters, where after the party chairman was beaten and arrested by 102 at
Okay.
the Morava Central Prison on grounds that you are trying to obstruct the process by doing some illegal thing to free the former speaker. So because of that, they had a press conference today by 5 o'clock, and he made a statement that the chairman for CDC made a statement that if they cannot release the former speaker and others from now to Monday, they are going to stage a protest, a worldwide protest, where they are going to call other seditions, other opposition to come together to stage a peaceful protest. And we heard from Molu said, chairman, he said that they are getting ready for July protest, where they are going to come out with a huge number. So we,
Okay.
we heard a lot from them today. So we have our guests in studio, and we are not going to take much time, but rather to join them and give their view.
Thank you, Myean. Very, very young indeed. As I said, I saw him today fighting with his camera and police pushing him here and there. But yes, he was still trying to make his way through to get the news. And today he's here in studio on the closing argument. As I said, our guests and panelists are already on the screen already. And I was just going to cross over to them where we see Anthony Arce, David Jackson. It's a privilege indeed for me to be in this studio and to have this great man. I normally follow him on at that time. AB was on that was which station AB on before going to
Freedom,
Freedom
freedom.
FM. Yeah, normally I follow him with AB on Freedom before going to Kings FM, and also Big Brother Ahmed who is also on the screen. So guys, welcome. Before I cross over, I'm not going to go deep into the conversation, but just one thing I want to just put to the both of the Ahmed and the Anthony Lord indeed. About this Saturday, for me, I've been like bro for years now. I haven't traveled yet. I have police cases before. I've been to the police station, especially on Friday. They always tell me that tomorrow is Saturday court. You cannot go. You cannot go to the court. Sunday you cannot go, so you have to wait for Monday. But today things turn around. Different thing happened today, Ahmed and Anthony Isaac Jackson. So maybe you guys can just respond to it as I realize, and you guys go through the program.
Well, I think we'll allow the legal man. Yeah, I think he's better in the position to speak on that. But before then, I just want to commend Myers for what he has done over the last 2 3. I mean, for all of the work he does and all of you, but particularly over the last 2 48 or 24 48 hours in making sure that the public was informed. He followed the conversation, he followed the events, and so just want to say thank you. I think there is a very big future ahead of him in terms of being perhaps a journalist or being an influencer in the Liberian community. So I thank you. And so, yeah, with regard to your question about the courts opening today, I'm sure many people share that same concern. In fact, there is this common belief in Liberia that if the man wants to keep you in jail for the weekend or so, or there's a strategy where they take you to either the court or the police station on Friday late evening, and then by the time you make up your mind, you there till Monday because, as you said, the courts don't open on Saturday. We saw it open today, and so let us allow the legal man before we bring him into the other issue for which he's here to at least provide us some insight. So, Councillor or Anthony, yeah, Anthony, Isaac, welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Let me take this time to first thank God for the opportunity to be here and to thank our host this evening. I think he's doing a very brilliant job. Uh, the young brother who followed the event today, I think he was heroic, and I'm glad that you two have joined in. Today is just another dark day in the history of our country, and it's a confirmation. What happened today is a confirmation of what some of us predicted during the campaign, that an 80-year-old pensioner was out of ideas. He would not have done anything new or different to advance Liberia. When you reach the age of 80, except for some of our friends who were averse to science, because the simple science will tell you that when you reach that age 80, there are many things about you that start to decline, including your mental capacity, the ability to be cognitively inclined will start to decline. So then you experience cognitive impairment. That way you have a semblance of dementia coming in. This is science. Today, President Boaga, he thinks he can shield himself a little bit to prevent the nation from seeing the wrinkles on his face by investing in more makeup set. Boaga make up more than some of the women in the country. It says something about what, as Socrates would say, right? He said, tell me what a man spent his time on, and I will tell you who he is. If the leader who's supposed to sit down 2-3 hours reading reports from his people, we engage in superficiality, in superficial things, putting makeup on it, painting a face for 2 hours. How much time already brain declining? How much time does he have to re-report? He doesn't have. So it confirmed what Mr. Boaka is doing, just gave a bigger confirmation to us that he didn't have anything new to offer the country. Today, it's regrettable that Funati Kofa and few lawmakers have been treated like all the terrible, tyrannical regime of the government of the republic have treated other people in time past. If you hear the infamous name of KZ Biska, these were the tactics that the Minister of Justice on KZ Biska would deploy. If you hear about Wilfred Clark, these were the same tactics. So the tactics that come from Doe, Taylor, and and Boaka practicing it. I mean, one of the government that Boaka saw working effectively was the Doe administration. So he must have copied some of these things because he was a major, right, in the Doe administration. He was one of the major. He was at agriculture. He must have practiced, pick up on some of these things that he now bringing back. It is totally an abuse of the fundamental rights of citizens, least to say lawmakers, when the government, following a period of close to 6-month investigation, that the government say a carrier, even though they were plead from the Kofa camp that for this investigation to wear a semblance of credibility, we needed international partners to come and help. The government did not pay it. They just carried on the investigation. Even when they were concerned that Kofa's own office was broken into and requested the government to investigate, the government said, no, we're not going to investigate any claim for Kofa. Claimed that even a lawmaker car was broken into by this man purporting to be speaker. Still, the police took no interest in investigating any of these things. They claimed that even the facility were under the supervision of the same police force. Because when the incident happened, people expected when this heated atmosphere developed, where the police people brutalized some of the citizens. There was the following day that the incident really happened. People have expected that the police were being wise to at least provide security for the Capitol building. Regrettably, the police were derelict in its duty. It left the building vulnerable. In any civilized society or a functioning democracy the world over, the police chief who ran these people off will be the first to walk the plank. He will be the first to resign because he was derelict in his duty. Forget about even the statement he made that was prejudicial. He went there and said they were asking even before they started investigating. So all of these things point to a deeply politically motivated maneuver on the part of the Unity Party government. Waka is reversing all of the gains that Liberia has made. And I think it's a crying shame that we are at this stage again, where the CEO decrepit, useless, counterproductive tactics by these same deeply politicized police people will resurface. If the government really want to deal with the issue of arson and want justice and want the public, the citizen to buy in, do you have to do this over the weekend? This investigation went on for close to 5 to 6 months. You brought no charges. Over the weekend, lawmakers are resting, maybe going through their notes. You say, oh, you can't. We want further investigate. The people walk to the place and suddenly you keep them there. You know it's Friday. You keep them long beyond the period of the setting of the courts. When the courts are closed, then you say, oh, man, we're charging you. The same tactic, unproductive. You know, on Saturday the court will open, but it will open for what? Short period for 12 to 12, where they will not have time to maneuver and get bill bomb. You get in there and reach and carry and stop beat. This didn't help Liberia yesterday on a Taylor. The Taylor police were notorious for this. It didn't help Liberia on a door. And door police were notorious for this. Reverend Clark being principal. KZB Scott being notorious for this. And Bwaka, 80-year-old, you cannot repeat the same unproductive tactics. And you think it's going to help Liberia? It was wrong in the past. It's going to be wrong today. It's going to be wrong in the future. This is just wrong as wrong can be. It can't be justified on any grounds. I'm not trying to provide, whatever reason, whatever happened in the capital, but there got to be, fairness when you seek justice. You know what I mean? You can't do this until any citizen who is intelligent, other than the stooges or the cronies of the United Party, any fair-minded Liberian citizen that you speak to now will tell you what happened yesterday and today disturbing for the country. It's disturbing because it's not fair, it's not transparent. All the other things that happened to Kofa and his people, the lawmaker who took his side, the police yet to investigate, even claim of bribe being paid to influence the other lawmaker to group together in a hotel. It's still a claim that eluded the police. Do you think these people are fair minded? So, all that I can say at this stage, brother, is to remind the Republic about Malcolm X's one of his famous speeches where he said that it would be a mirage to ask a conscienceless group of people to be conscionable. It's a waste of your time that a government that is conscienceless, you're going to say you will turn the other cheek, they will break that other cheek and say you were happy. Now is the time for Liberian people to stand up. You can't go to a corrupt government like Bwaka, doesn't respect any law, and still tell your people, say, oh, that be law. Why law are you abiding by that the government will not abide by? Since Bwaka took power, brother, he has not respected any law in the country. He has equated himself to and above the laws of the land. So when we come here and we quote the law, we're quoting the law for just our people. It's not for the government. The government is aware but doesn't care about the law. The police, the guy who's the police commander, what they call it, Como. Como knows that what he did is wrong. He's using the playbook of Doe and Taylor. He knows that. He's not going to tell anybody with a straight face that, you know what I did today, justify in law, blah, blah, blah. BS. BS. What he did, he know what he's doing. He knows he want to, humiliate. The intent is not justice, it's to humiliate. To make people who have some clout, some respectability to look like small boys. That's what he's doing. That's the objective, not justice. So, Liberian people, if you expect a conscienceless government to be conscionable, you'll be making mistakes. And the last time, maybe my colleague will come in, I warned the Republic that I was using Winston Churchill's, one of his famous quotes, when Chamberlain was trying to go into this deal with Adolf Hitler in Munich. Chamberlain thought he could persuade this Adolf Hitler guy who was bent on, invading Europe. France was already fallen. And Chamberlain was talking about signing an agreement with Hitler. And Churchill said to him, "You are making a dangerous mistake." He said, "What is being said to us is a sip, the fresh sip, the foretaste of a better cup that will be proffered from time to time." I'm telling you, I told people on our scene, Gosson, William show that you were talking about, that what Bwaka is serving you is the fresh sip, the fresh foretaste of a better cup that he will serve you. He's 80 years, doesn't care. He doesn't care who he hurts. And on that show, I reminded Brother Ure myself, not being friends with Ellen going, but I think we're friends now. I reminded Brother Ure, his daughter was working with Fonati Kofa, very intelligent girl. She was honored by Crown Maternal Forum. Today she's with our job. Why? Because she's a Ure. And Bwaka is on record for saying no Congo president. That's how divisive this man is. No Congo president will be president in this country. I don't know whether you were proud to be a Pele man or a Congo man. I don't know, but the way I see him, he should be concerned how Bronsky was concerned, because Bronsky had to retort. He rebuked Bwaka and said, "Yeah, I agree with you. No Congo man will be president, but no country man will be president. Only a good Liberian will be president." He tried to intellectualize it, but this thing is in Bwaka. That's him. No Congo man will be president. Your daughter is with our job. He said that he got some money. He's comfortable. This better cop will go around. I heard Snow yelling. "Oh, they say I said something I didn't say. I said something I didn't say." Snow, you can't just be yelling, brother. This better cop will go around. Maybe the next thing, instead of saying you said something, they could kill somebody and put the person in your palm farm and say you were engaged in ritualistic activity, even though their own fake doctor that have killed maybe 200 or more of our people, they allowed him to escape because he's associated with the vice president. They will put ritualistic killing behind you because you got a big palm farm. Anything can happen in that palm farm. This better cop is going around. It's going around. It's been said to Kofa. Kofa, I wrote Kofa a text message before. I said, "Kofa, this thing I see coming, you got to stand up." He said, "Oh, small bird. Your own thing, you can be too strong. We got to do boy and blue." I said, "Brother, when Ellen Johnson Sally wanted to fight injustice, she fought it with everything at her disposal. She used, I think Ellen must have read Frank Fanon. If you read the Rhetoric of the Earth, Frank Fanon, one of the things Frank Fanon said in the Rhetoric of the Earth, you know what he said? He said, naked violence will yield to greater violence. These people who don't respect law, who engage in naked violence, tell people, say, come to police station for investigation, then hold them, they put them in handcuffs, disgrace them, and drag them to court. Naked violence. When the court say you cannot remove tenure holder, they still find a way around it and remove tenure holder. When the court say is illegal, they still say person will go to where the quorum is, violating, disregarding the court's opinion. When Kun realized that everything he did was wrong, he sits over there and uses the platform, the national podium, and say, few of my 40 people here will make new law and say everything the Supreme Court said was unconstitutional will make it constitutional. Where in the world are we headed? The Supreme Court said everything you did over there wrong. Ultra virus. Come today, here if you amended the law for everything that the court declared unconstitutional to be constitutional. Everybody who read at least an ABC in law say the law is not retroactive. Law are prospective. Law can be backward looking. There is an exception where the law can be backward looking, but it will be for the forward advance of society. That's why the legislation can be backward looking. But general principle in law, laws are what? Prospective. They are not retroactive. You can't say, I'm making a law, even though Supreme Court said everything I did was wrong, but everything I did now will be right. I told you I was running a military junta. This is what people then did to cover their track. Wrong. So, comrades, the country will come in, but you know, Baka is taking the country down with him. Everything they're doing in the country is bad. And for you to say you will be solved in there, and you tell the gentleman, let abide by the law, let abide by the law. These people who are conscienceless, who got no regard for the law, you're going to tell them, let abide by the law. You got to do what Ellen did. He said, go. You can't hear. The ear that can't hear with feet. She fought injustice with everything. Fanon said, naked violence will get into what greater violence. If you sit down over there and somebody took a stick and hit your head, if you can get something to knock in that person down, you go to sit down and don't do anything about it, that's up to you. That's up to you. So if you were to put maybe Brother Martin Luther King, Brother Malcolm X, and Fanon, I would spend maybe a few minutes with Martin Luther King. I would spend good portion of my time with Malcolm because I think he was realistic about life. And then I would live all my day with Frank Fanon. And then this thing that we're doing over there, it's no yelling, oh, gentlemen, July 17 should be a time for all of us to stand up and say enough is enough. If we don't do something to tell Bwaka that this country is not a private place, yeah, the joke will be on us. I would be listening, and then I would end because I would come back and then we'll go to all the corrupt people that Bwaka jumping over. You can't prosecute them, but you're looking for Kofa and to prosecute for City Hall. Let's, brother. Is it not true that Bwaka he was a pensioner, that he was a retiree who could barely afford his hospital bill? Is it not true? Yeah. A man who could not afford his hospital bill, a retiree, a pensioner, suddenly upon becoming president, today he's a millionaire. Not only that he's a millionaire, his son also is claiming to be a millionaire. And the other flunky there, we view and say, because Liberia wants seat on Security Council, non-permanent seat on Security Council, so everything in the country already. Just by doing a lifestyle audit of Bwaka, our person to protest. Just forget about all the other violations of the laws, all the money Liberia democracy, our democracy on its deathbed, having a nervous breakdown. Forget about all of those. Just Bwaka lifestyle audit to make reasonable, intelligent, sensible people to get angry. A retiree, a pensioner who could not afford hospital bill. Former president, we are going to force some of the bill. My friend Costa got to go all over the place with backing polls for people to raise money for Bwaka to go to hospital. Today, just by being president, he claimed to be a millionaire. He flying private jet. Liberian people can barely get food to eat. The global hunger index, they were 2.3 million of Liberians go to bed on empty stomach. Latest report. Global hunger index. Even their own World Bank, every day they can, World Bank get out there. World Bank get out there. World Bank say Liberia is among the 10 poorest countries in the world. Liberia sit at what? 8 places. And your president is riding a super luxury vehicle. He said a bulletproof car for him one. He get ready, he get in private plane. He doing nothing for poor people. He constructing homes for himself in Foya, in Broadway. What has he constructed for Liberian people? Matter of fact, he breaking down the homes of poor people. Is Guar conscionable? Is this somebody you want to keep a polite conversation with? When David was about to kill Goliath in the Bible, you think David used polite words on Goliath? No. Sorry, but if a colleague is a Muslim man, I would not be too inclined. But when David went to challenge Goliath, David called him uncircumcised person, right? David said, "Who is this disgrace?" If we're going to look at Bwaka and pacify and don't use the appropriate adjective to describe the 80-year-old demon that trying to drag the country down to hell in handcuffs, the joke will be on us. So I'm calling on Funati, maybe by the grace of God, Monday he will get built. When he get built, and he still won't be passive, it's okay for him. But Ellen taught the country a lesson. How to deal with people who don't respect laws.
One more question, Anthony Jackson.
Yeah, so I think you're going back, but I just wanted to ask something first. I mean, before I come to the July 17th protest, which I think is gaining serious momentum in the country, the Liberian people seem to be driving towards it. Oh, okay, go ahead. You back. Go ahead. You want to talk?
So yeah, so let's welcome Lofa Julius. Julius, long time. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very clear.
Okay, thank you. Great to be on the show. Liberia is all we have, so we often try to be a part of anything that is of Liberia. And as we see the way things are trending in the country, we all cannot sit back and just fold our hands and allow our country to plunge. So I believe a few years ago, and as a matter of fact, the good thing about this is the fact that Facebook serves as a reminder to all of us. Just today, I was reminded of the fact that I was in DC protesting at the embassy, okay, against the we are led government. So today, to hear people who are advocating for justice and accountability in Liberia under the Boycott administration, and others are trying to deem it as though it's unnecessary or make it seem as though protest in itself is a wish hunt. I think they are dreaming, because the June 7 served as a historic landmark. It shows that Liberians can exercise their constitutional mandates void of violence, and it was conducted quietly with their voices being heard. They were very vocal, but it was not violent. So we can continue the process once those who are in power continue to ignore the plight of the people, and refuse to understand that the people need justice. I mean, you are in the country, in our end on this note, can you attest to the fact that our people are experiencing poor quality in healthcare, and the quality of education, and we're talking about the issue of security, the disregard for the rule of law. All of these things are currently being played. They're right before the eyes of the president, who claimed to have lived a modest lifestyle. That means he was very down to earth. Okay, in one of his statements, he said he will ride a wheelbarrow to work if he had to. Few weeks later, he purchased a bulletproof vehicle worth millions of dollars at the expense or at the detriment of the masses. And here we are today. People are talking about protesting. I think these things should be taken into consideration. And when people decide to protest, let them be supported and let the government provide them the full guidance and support in their desire to protest against bad governance. I end at that note and say thank you. to both my colleagues on here. Isaac Jackson, great to be with you on the show, my brother. And of course, to you as well, Hamed, and everybody else who may join us later.
Yeah. Jackson and Lofa, I just and the brother in studio, I just want to set up a stage, a pattern, a narrative, so that we brainstorm on what is unfolding, so that people understand the seriousness that we're talking here. How dictators are built, how tyranny evolved. Sometimes the person comes to power not necessarily through a coup or through some which is horrific, but gradually they evolve into it. And these are the pattern. When the president says to us that the Supreme Court is of no relevance in the governing structure, when the president is able to dictate, not just by political means, but by direct cohesion, the leadership of the national legislature, when the president now has the security apparatus beginning to think that the only way to survive or do is to do things that will please him, when the president of the country has been so effective in bringing all structure, independent structure of governance towards the point where everybody now wants to look up to where the president, what the president says, what the president thinks. When you look at the likes of Mugabe, you look at the likes of Torgbean, how different is that? How different is the current situation? So I just want to leave the issue about the fanatic court case a little bit and just look at the behavior pattern of the president and what he's doing, because they don't look like isolated steps. They look like calculated effort to consolidate power, but not in a way that is within the context of democracy, but in a way that creates cohesion, prevent other institutions that will hold you accountable. Beyond that, the other means that are available to ordinary citizens, which is the means of protest, public assembly. The Justice Ministry issues sting warning, threatening to prosecute. What is it that is happening? These are not isolated things. These are calculated plans for the long run. Do you think in the next few year or two we may have free press? And so when, of course, the president have told all people to go into one radio, one station, one place to talk, what is unfolding in the country? Where are we heading?
Brother, I think you hit the nail on the head when you mention tyranny. Because the simplest way tyranny can be explained is when the law is not applicable to those who are in power, but it's only used against the poor and the disadvantaged, then you have tyranny. Because the law is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be what? Above all of us, right? Right? No one is above the law. We all supposed to be what? Subject to the law. But when the people who are in power, when they are above the law, and only the poor people, the law can hold accountable, then you have what? Tyranny. Look, when you talk about the Minister of Justice, you don't need to waste your time on the Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice is a disco flunky that nobody serious should pay him any mind. This is a man who, when the country was faced with legal difficulty, he not only did he just get the law wrong, he misled the entire country. And you see the mess that Kun and others try to correct is as a result of the gross incompetence of this Minister of Justice. It was the Minister of Justice who told them that their conduct was good and that the Supreme Court had ruled in their favor and that whatever ruling the Supreme Court made was not clear. This clown of a Minister of Justice misled the entire country. And when we get on the public show and go back to the substantive law and say the fact that the court has just ruled, the fact that Mr. Kun has just basically resigned as majority bloc leader, meaning that everything that Kun did was void ab initio. which by extension means that the president is now on impeachable ground for violating Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution. Who is aware? His lawyer. One of the president who advising there is somebody who taught me law, and he has always one of his mentors. When I call his name, you guys are senior counsel. He said, look, the law are teaching you. If you want to be a good lawyer and you don't know how to explore the weaknesses in the law, then you're not a good lawyer. So that lawyer is advancing them now that look, the president is on impeachable grounds based on the argument by one of my students who have gone or who have been privileged to attend British school, who have read the letter of the law. So we got to do something. Now, what we got to do, even if it is inelegant, even if it looks stupid on the face of it, since we lawmakers, we can make any law. We can make law and say the cat at door. So let's make law and say, look, everything that we did, it was lawful. Even though the court has said everything you did there was not lawful or wrong. Because the Article 50 of the Liberian Constitution says what? The president should deliver an annual message, right? And that annual message was delivered, the presiding officer should be what? The speaker de jure, the speaker duly elected. The speaker duly elected was Fonati Kofa. He's supposed to be presiding. The fact that he did not preside, the Supreme Court opinion is that that body, that gathering was what? Ultra virus, was not supported by law. And if that gathering was not supported by law, then the president did not deliver the annual message.
So
the law is what commonsensical, right? What is not done legally is not done at all. If that body was not presided over by Speaker Kofa, then the president did not deliver the annual message. Then even the budget is tainted. So all of these are what? Constitutional anomalies and clear violation. That's why they are in a hurry to cover up and say they're making law to make what they could declare ultra virus to be for. So, brother, this Minister of Justice, I just brought this in passing to tell you that the Minister of Justice is worthless. We will not take any permit from him. We don't need permit to exercise our rights provided for. It is an inalienable right. All right? It is an impregnable right. All right? It is not a right that we're going to negotiate. We will go, we have served the government public notice already that by 2017, our people will be coming from the various community to tell Mr. Bwaka the way he's running the country is not right and that he needs to do right. One of the better cop that Mr. Bwaka is serving, even to the community that my friend Amara Corner belongs to. He doesn't want to talk about his community, but I'll be proud to talk about the community because I got people in that community that I associate with. The brothers and sisters who are fleeing the merciless hands of the military junta in Guinea. People running away from killers, running away from political persecution. Bwaka is so heartless that even while Ibrahim Sharif was in government custody, going through the same court reporting, through this court, while he was in a court, under the ambit of the law, Bwaka security people, the same Komoga took Ibrahim Sharif under the cover of darkness and sent him back. Today, you ask the Liberian government to bring Ibrahim back, they will not do it. Even Trump, while Trump tried to dance around here, he brought Bawa Garcia, right? Blanco Garcia, the guy who he took running the guy or sent the guy to El Salvador, he brought the guy back because the court told him, you can't do that nonsense. They try to dance around the guy, said, no, brother. You gotta bring the ball back. Ask Bwaka, can Bwaka bring us back Ibrahim Sharif? And if he cannot bring back the living body of Ibrahim Sharif and some of our brothers and sisters from Guinea are running away from the junta that he has sent back, what do we do with this 80-year-old demon? We should leave him? No, we cannot. This is a better cop that he's serving. That Mandingo community, the community that I belong to. I've got enormous respect for Justice Janet. He's my big brother. He was on this case. He endorsed Bwaka, forgetting to know that Bwaka was a member of the Lofa Defense Force. He has inherent hatred for Mandingo people. So it was the Janet's own mistake he made, but he will correct that mistake. We have to tell Bwaka enough is enough. The Mandingo community, this better cop, don't let it go down. We got to demand that Mr. Bouaka produce the living body of Ibrahim Sherry and others that he sent to the junta in violation of international laws. Bouaka is not a good leader, brother. He's heartless. So you talk about the Minister of Justice, that's what I'm saying. Minister of Justice, we're not going to waste our time with him. We will protest. Our people will come more on the 17th of July. They will come from the various community, the Minister of Justice and his police, the deeply politicized police. They already got public notice. If they want to provide guardians for the protesters, they can do it. If they bring violence, I told them we don't want any beef with any police. It would be peaceful. You know, Malcolm S is also reputed to have said that we are non-violent. But we'll not be non-violent, the people won't be violent to us. Because brother, if these people are so conscienceless, if they break your jaw, you really think they will care for your pin? They grab the chairman of the CDC off camera and threw him in a pickup truck. Even people who hate the CDC, who are friends to the CDC, they got to scream. One person who was screaming on Facebook today was my begin. Everybody about Martin Colley. He said, no, the other thing are bullshit. Martin Colley hates, not hate, but he despises the CDC, right? Let me be honest about it. You know, CDC picking. He's no, let's CDC people. But he said, no, the way the police going now is heavy-handed. Wrong. If Martin, but the guy who did that thing though, how you call it, man? To Janga Ko, he got any conscience. You really think he got care for Janga Ko? He doesn't care because he's drunk on public power. He's being instructed by the leg of a Freeman, right? The one or two guy who was notorious for killing people, the deputy IG. He's notorious for killing people. And that's one of the things Bouaka has done. He has contaminated the professionalism of the police force. He has brought in notorious people who are notorious for killing people. Correct? Fremont is one person. The NSA, today the NSA, who is a deputy at the NSA? Today the NSA, who is a deputy at the NSA? He's a truck-cutting pregnant women killer. General Bonnet.
From my end, Anthony
Jackson. Truck-cutting pregnant women killer. That means you would be in security. You think he got any formal security training? Other than coming into on the scene when he thought that Roosevelt Johnson was being treated poorly. Took some charm, chewed all kind of charm, rubbed something on his neck, and just went on a killing spree. Is that the credential you got to make him NSA boss? Bouaka? And people think they want to keep that conversation with the old man. You want to keep that conversation with the old man, you're doing it at your detriment. This better call he passing around will go to everybody whom if they don't stand up soon.
Anthony Jackson, one more question from my end before the people might come in. With all this, I want to just look at the process because someone asked me this question today, and I think making some sense. Looking at the process, invited at the police headquarters, I think between 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. They were kept all the way up to 4-5 o'clock. Can there be a communication, or can there be a communication from the House of Representatives to invite the police, IG, on the entire process?
But but it's going to be for the formality. Invite the police IG for instruction that President Bouaka gave him. It's a mirage. Don't get carried away by the dances that they will do later on. These instructions that are being executed, they are being executed by this guy. It's an osmosis, right? OSMOSIS. It comes from all the way down, it going down. This corruption that we're talking about, right? It comes from the hair, it go way down. It's an osmosis, right? It's coming from Bouaka all the way down. Why you think Greg can come up with so confident that people who are far better educated than him, he will grind them up and treat them the way he treated them today or yesterday? Why you think giving him that confidence? It's because Bouaka said you got to do it. I worked with Gregory before. I was Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs. Gregory and myself worked together. He arrested some journalists, and I had to go there to plead for those journalists. All right? And I told them, you got to release the journalists on my reconnaissance to the police station, the Selly administration. I know Gregory. He may not be as bad as he trying to portray himself, but every time you work with a bad person, it spill on you. Someone that bad got to rub on you. That's what Gregory is. Cricket is dancing to the beat of the 80-year-old demon that some of these people help to inflate on our country. For them, all they can do now is to stand on the sideline and just turn rotten banana. Like you said today, you invited these people who are 10 o'clock. This is an investigation that people, if I'm not mistaken, for almost 5 months. I don't want to exaggerate. 5 months is a period. I could put it at 6, right? But let's take it at 5 months. The investigation has been ongoing for almost 5 months. Are you telling me the police did not prepare a charge sheet and they will invite people from 10 o'clock all the way to 4 o'clock when they know the courts are closed? Then you get charge sheet? But anybody sensible will not tell you that this thing is the same trick of Taylor Doe and some of the worst despots we ever had in our country. That's what it is. I know this thing. This is the same thing as you put Myean Gongloe them through. Myean knows it. If you brought Myean here, you will explain. You say, and the same thing Taylor was doing here, and they kept me in our jail and they beat me and they all the thing to me. It's the same trick. It has not changed, brother. And it's sad because during the Selig administration, when UNMIL was in the country, the U.S. government, along with the UNMIL, they spent a good bit of international people money to professionalize the police. Today, Waka has started to corrupt the police again, to pollute the police again, to politicize the police. It's a waste of the international community's money. That's what it is. The international community made intentional effort to depoliticize the police. It said the police must be professional. It trained them. I was there. I was deputy minister. I was there. They trained them. Today, Boy doesn't know. I gotta be my police. I gotta get my instruction out. Why I say that the law is bad. So the country is not getting better. It's getting worse. Boycott is reversing the game that we've made. The police, and let me say this to Liberian people, some of the people who are scared, don't be afraid of police. The policing is only effective because we gave consent. Policing is about what? Willing consent. If you do not agree for the police to police you, they will not police you effectively. I have lived in countries where, let me say that, let Liberian people understand, because I don't want people to be scared. When we're scared, people do that. Zero. You plenty more than the police. The police not plenty more than you. And no police people, when you turn up in large number, will try to shoot anybody, you all, it will not happen. Not on the day and age that we in. The only time the police will be effective in policing you when you're scared and you give your consent. I have seen police stations set ablaze in London, a former superpower of the world. You think all the gun everything? No. But because they overly police a particular community, a disadvantaged community, when the people got angry and said, you will not police us again, the police station was in flames. Even in America, the state I'm in is Minnesota. You think they don't have soldier people here? You don't have guns here? When they did that nonsense to how do you call the guy? George Floyd. You saw what happened? With all the guns they got to have. Policing is about what? Soliciting consent. If the citizens say you're not going to police us, then we have a situation. So that's why everywhere around the world, police people are encouraged to be professional. Policing is about the people having confidence in the system. If the people don't have confidence in the system, you can't police them. So Liberian people, don't be scared. If you show up at 15,000 number, if you show up at 10,000 number on July 17th, people can do nothing.
But Isaac, here's the thing. One key part about the issue of policing, and I don't speak today from the position of a law enforcement officer, but having had the opportunity to work with people in that area, it is obvious, and you are often reminded that they are often told they are hired to protect lives and properties. Okay, those are the responsibilities of any police officer. They're hired to protect lives and property. So whether you're protesting or not, the police officer's primary responsibility is to protect you as a protester and any property that is within that vicinity where you may be protesting. So I don't think it should be the issue of concern because the government understands that it is part of her responsibility to protect those protesters that may be coming out on July 17th. What I hope that we can do tonight, if it is okay with the host, the guys in the studio, let us take some calls and get the people's reaction to the July 17th enough is enough protest, and let us kind of get a feel for what the people think, because you, Isaac, like myself, we are not present, so maybe the people are living glamorously and we are seeing things from a different perspective. So let's give them the opportunity to give us their perspective on what they're sensing and why they think it is important that they come out on July 17th to be a part of this all important rally and get the views on it. And then hopefully we can.
Let me add this. Why you getting it on? Let me add this. I am hoping for John Molu, Tatos, and the other brother George Tingbe, all the organizers of the protest. I'm hoping to join them. I think democracy have values, and
Right.
for democracy to thrive, we need to respect the values of democracy. Bouaga is not respecting the values of democracy. Bouaga has engaged in a systematic or a systemic betrayal of the trust and confidence of our people, and we need to channel their anger properly. That's why we're here to talk to them so that they come out. All right. Since he took power, he has not built anything for Liberian people. He have built himself homes in Lofa and Broadway. He's flying private planes.
So
He's doing
Julius,
absolutely
Julius,
nothing to the
Julius,
welfare of the
Yeah.
people.
I,
So
I,
we got to deal with that.
yeah. So as Julius is about to open the line, what I wanted you to do is to set the stage for our people.
Yeah.
But government is about 2 years now in power. I guess it took
Mhm.
the organizer of the protest close to a year before they announced a year and so much months before they announced the protest. So maybe if you could just take us through, take the callers or people who will be calling through, how did you arrive at the decision that look, having tried everything, having given the government the opportunity, having been patient, having been peaceful, we think at this point, this is the time, this is the moment, we must come up, we stand up. Can you just take them through so as they get ready to call on the show about the protest?
Thank you very much. And then that's the way we're gonna do it. The first thing we talk about when we talk about a systemic betrayal of the people, the confidence and the trust of the people, is we go back to Mr. Boaka's own commitment, his own promises he made to the Liberian people. When Boaka was campaigning to the Liberian people, he told the Liberian people that it was not going to be business as usual. Okay, he was going to fight corruption. Today, there is no evidence or no serious evidence to show that Mr. Boaka is fighting corruption. Matter of fact, some of the people who are deemed to be corrupt, or some of the people who have clout or corruption allegation hovering over their heads, Waka brought them back in the government and promoted some of them. One person, one guy in question is Notu Jabba. Notu Jabba used to be at water and sewer. Ellen Johnson said he asked Notu Jabba to resign because Notu Jabba was a complete disgrace. Waka brought Notu Jabba back into the government and promoted him, I think, to notary. Another person is Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson is a comrade of mine. I know Daniel. Daniel Johnson was working with USAID. He ate almost $1.9 million of American people money through USAID. The USAID have been wanting him to prosecute him. They wanted to say bring him to America to prosecute him because they didn't trust our judicial system. The Americans have been after DJ. Daniel Johnson. That's the pet we can for DJ. But Boaka has no regard about the sensitivity of the American people. So he decided to appoint Daniel Johnson as a big shot as the aviation. I think he's the second in command there. This is Boaka. Lack of discipline, lack of concern for international norms. American people concerned with Daniel Johnson. He ate 1.9 million, but now 1.9 million from USAID. He brought him back in the government. That's how Bwaka has been promoting. These people are people we're supposed to be asking difficult questions. You're not asking it like over here running behind. All right. Rudolph Mera, somebody who in the forestry sector has a terrible reputation. Bwaka brought him back. Even the Tonona Vapala. Okay, Tonona Vapala is a United Party guy, right? He was designated by the corrupt legislature for him to pay back money. Why the legislature asking this man to pay back money? Bwaka brought him and put him on maritime bull. So there's a lot of people who have cloud or suspicion of corruption hovering over their head, including Patrick Honorable Bossman, Abdullah Kamara, the chair. There was allegation of corruption hovering over his head. Bwaka brought him back. Then in the Bwaka administration, people who are accused of corruption, instead of Bwaka prosecuting them, he uses soft glove, right? What he does, he just suspend people. He just suspend. No prosecutorial action, no way to restitute government money, he just suspend. So Bwaka has effectively betrayed the people. By extension, he himself is inherently corrupt. Bwaka is dangerously corrupt. That's why our people should protest against him, because to promote corruption, Bwaka brought in yellow machines that are unaccounted for. They didn't follow any of the public procurement concession procedure. PPCC says if you're going to bring anything in a tune of $1 million and above, there should be competitive public bidding. Bwaka violated that law and Article 34 of the Liberian Constitution that says our lawmaker, if you're going to sign agreement on our behalf, they must have a say in it, because they represent us. The lawmaker don't know what happened to the machine, how it came. So Bwaka is himself promoting corruption. Obviously, a lifestyle speaks volume, right? He never used to have his own hospital built today. He rides clean, he rides car. The other time they said Bwaka wife was sick. They flew her to Accra, Ghana. They said, Jack, I had to go. They flew her to Accra, Ghana. A lady, one of our mothers, she was in pain, delivery pain. She was forced to deliver outside in Pinsville, and she died in a massive structure. That's why one of the things we seek to address in the protest is to demand that the maternity ward at JFK be free of charge. Look, most of the men in the country are not working, brother, but they still have to do their work in the net. When the women get pregnant and they don't have hospital to go to, where do we take them to? They will deliver outside. We say the maternity ward at JFK should be free. That's one of our demands. The other thing we're demanding is for Mr. Bwaka to respect international law. That's where I brought in Ibrahim Sharif, right? The people who are running away from war in Guinea, you can't send them back. The international refugee, human rights and refugee law say these people should be what? They should be either housing and refugee. Under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 14 of the Declaration say they should go and seek political asylum. But you can't send them back. Why can't be sending some of those people back? We want our Madinko community, everybody, Liberian citizens, Madinko, to join this rally to demand Mr. Bwaka to respect international law, to not send these people back to the junta when they're running away from the junta. These are things that we are demanding. Mr. Bwaka reckless disregard of the Supreme Court's opinion. We think it's an assault on our democracy. Like I said, democracy got values. What the first value of democracy? The supremacy of the rule of law. We all are subject to the law. If the president want to put himself above the law, then the law will only be applicable to poor people and people who are not in power. It doesn't work that way. That's why we should stay up. Liberian people, they say, no, Mr. Bwaka, enough is enough. You know, the equitable distribution of let's end with the equitable distribution of the resources, then you put it on. The equitable distribution of the resources that people need. But the money that the government generates is supposed to go around and empower all Liberians. Take, for example, Patrick Honor. He alone, a generator, not himself. I'm not saying he invented 15,000, 17,000 to pay with his family. But a generator. So they're not living. Generator, non-living thing. It takes $3,600 from our budget. Patrick Honor generator. So assuming if the government wanted to fight poverty, hard time, like the World Bank has said, Liberia is among the 10 poorest countries in 28 places. The global hunger index says Liberia got more poor people who go to bed hungry. 2.3 million people who be hungry, and the government want to fight poverty and empower our market women then. Even if you're taking $1,000 of the 3,000 you give to Patreon generator and say, there's more, we got 3 market women, we give you 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 3,000, you go try and make business. But now, Baga being empowered 2 years, you're doing that every month. You know how many market women we empower? You'll be empowering more market women. So they protest is for our market women to come out and say the money their country making enough for Baka and few of her people. It will go across all of us. We are talking about what macro credit new for poor market women. So let our people come. The people who were unlawfully dismissed in violation of Article 18 of the Liberian Constitution. Article 18 of the Liberian Constitution says the government should not engage in employment discrimination. Employment discrimination is when you say, oh, the other men that citizen men they got removed from our government. All the EPS that were dismissed by Bwaka, all of the citizens who, in the name of them being citizens that were dismissed from the civil service, all of these people have rights. It is their right that we are talking about. Those people whose homes are being demolished on the freeway, all of those people, they have rights. If Bwaka cannot respect the law, which law are they using to demolish the home of these poor people when Bwaka building himself mansions around the country? So these are the people that we are talking about. They have to come out to get straight to the protest so that we tell Bwaka to do right. Stop demolishing people who, when you will not build one kitchen for them. Stop it. Stop giving 3,000 out of one man generator when you will not empower the poor market woman in the street or in the market. It's wrong. Start deporting, start sending people back to Guinea on the cover of darkness when they're running away for their life. It's wrong. Mr. Bwaka, stop violating our law. It's wrong. These are the demands that we are making. People are dying every day under the cover of that. Security in the country risky. Go to the American people own website. They say Liberia, some play Liberia, and I say it's on the allied. So what Bwaka doing to make the country see is to fight political war every day. Every day, Bwaka fighting one political war. Every day. Because what they're doing will cover another political war. Is that a great way to use the resources of the country? Bribing lawmakers? This is wrong. Even our panel law, I think in section 5 of the panel law, it says bribery is a crime. Send the way to remove Kofa, and the people say, oh, money change here. You saw the police investigating because they know the source of the money they keep on the executive mansion. So our people, with all of these, are in the interest of the people, and that's why the protest aim to address. The protest seeks to show a light on all of the ill performance of the government.
We got folks online. Let's get the people to
Julius, go ahead. Julius, go ahead with the call now.
Yeah, let the calls come through. We'll listen to the guys in studio if they want me to take. I got a call online, but we'll prioritize the guys in studio first.
Okay, so you have on the screen +231 777 649986. You have 0776 927472. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thanks for the show, Sponsor Anthony Johnson. Thank you very much. Last Saturday will be a leading day for the protest. We will retreat for that protest. People did it June 7th. They were protested. So we hope and we pray. So it's our right that the government protect the protesters. We will be there fully. My brother, if other people feel they enjoying it, they get set. But if other people feel, I always feel that I lost 2 persons from Mr. Bada, getting 1 year for here, I swear out. One is enjoy and my nephew in Panya at the police shop. If you have kids, I always be there with my wife. If it's called for them to kill or if there's a body that day for the protest, then that's fun. Or if you can open the prison and stop to everybody, no problem. But this is complete dictatorship. We're not allowed. I will stand up. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Legend, go ahead.
Lofa, can you hear me, my dear brother?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Elston Legend Wisa, and I'm calling to pose 2 questions to your studio guest, Anthony Allo or Isaac Jackson. I'm going to premise this And make a disclaimer, Mr. Jackson, you may not know me, but I'm the son of Councilor Guar. We still work for your former boss, the late Councilor Charles Walker Bromskin, so you know of me. But I posed this question to you to ask you: the incident that happened in the proximity of the burning of the Capitol to the utterances of Representative Frank Safoko on the tape that we listened to, do you think if that had happened in the great United States of America with somebody being on tape inciting the burning of the Capitol and the proximity to when it happened, do you think you are being investigated because of that tape, or you think you should be let to go scot-free? And lastly, I want you to tie in the action of Councilor Sima Serena Sifos when he used invective on a police officer, and you, an educated man, and you listen to that tape with him and the officer. Do you think those are things that people should be reprimanded for, or they should just be let go because they are top-notch citizens of the country? You know the incident I'm talking about. The police officer and Councilor Sima Sifos when he used effective on that officer. Because these are things that people do and everyone think they should go scot-free. They didn't get burned in a very chaotic manner, in a mysterious manner. People think no one should be arrested, no one should account for it. What kind of society are we living in? Thank you,
So Legend, let me ask you a quick question before you get up the line. Yeah, what's your view on the upcoming protest, the July 17th protest that is planned? I think that is the core of tonight's conversation, the July 17th protest. What is your view and input on that?
Lofa, coming from a journalism background, I stand with any protest that is peaceful in Liberia, be it in the past government or this government. People should have the right to exercise their legal rights to protest. It's their inalienable rights to protest. So I stand with any citizen that protests in the confines of the law, past or present. Look, Liberia, we should put country first. By that, I mean we should be objective. I listen to a lot of things. I can go on and on about Mr. Samuel Jackson that he's not being objective about. I'm being very honest. I would like the opportunity to engage him one day in the near future.
Well, you can join us on across. You can join us on Across Africa. Later tonight, we'll be hosting Samuel Jackson, and hopefully, again, we'll have. Yeah, we'll bring you on to join us tonight, Mobile Molu and other folks who are part of this upcoming July 17th protest. But thank you. All right. That was the only call I have on here. So you guys can take calls from back home.
Hello?
If there's no call, I can answer him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's take more calls from back home, Isaac. You can respond to him.
I'm calling from Boston. Yeah, my take on the protest is coming to last 17. I think protests have not been bringing any deliverable to we the Liberian people. Protests have been going on for the past regain, and we're not seeing anything better that has bring to the left of the Liberian people. So I don't see protests to be necessary. The government is being against. The Capitol didn't got burned. There were people that orchestrated that, and they need to be brought to justice. So if the government takes its action, I don't see it to be anything on the
Okay, thank you. That's just what we are taking so much. Thanks for calling. The next caller, hello? Hello? How are you there? Let's look at this caller right here. Good evening. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Let me put you on last speaker. Go ahead. You have to push on your voice. No time, please. The line's running busy tonight. Yeah, go ahead. Straight to the point.
Always, in the habit of instituting violence. So if you want us to protest, you have to come down with your family so all of us can protest.
You say what? You say
us to protest with the seditions, you have to come down with his family, all of us protest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for calling. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for calling. Next call. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
It's important that we do so. That protection on the June 17th or one of the
July 17.
July 17.
Yeah. But let me tell you something, my brother. Joe, we are deal well for this country. That man just in the sea causing trouble from one end to another. I'm a man who travels from countries to countries. I've been seeing things around the country. So we have built a purple house estates all around Balag, Bomi County, Bom County, Lima, Sodi, Grand Gide, Sano, Maryland, River Step, Grand Bago, purple house all around the country. He built market house Balag. He built a market house right to west in Baga State. He built another market house right at red light at that age of the market that she did it all the 5 years. Now tell them girls they give scholarships to all free scholarships to all students around the country. Now tell them girl came on the schools and did the same thing. So we have open sports park. He built that. That man I bet doing well in this country. It better do a stupid man they not go to school in the south man not doing that trouble for what and another. The man got one thing in the ground that he can even show tomorrow. I'm going to back on it. I like to do because the need of doing this thing.
Okay, let's just show you that. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Samuel. I'm calling from the Myean region of Creek. National protests were getting ready. National protests had to go on because when the government proceeding is not going well. More especially when some of the small playing they will have to wait. So from this talking to young kind of way, family to come protest, how family can protest was what is causing that issue. I'm afraid. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's pick up this caller here online too. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Please be audible. Let's go to the point.
All these ideas that they are pushing concerning how they would get put on poverty on his way, who have applied this effort for the past 6 years, and la preuve for people of this at this time. Now, here's the issue. If they want to to protect, I will ask that all those who want to lead protect, that our children should be ahead, and all of that prayer will be able to follow.
Okay, so okay, thank you. That's it. That's just what we there. Meaning you who sure that did. Yes, just a moment. I won't be part of the process. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I want to call all Liberians to take part in the protest July 17. And what I want to say is that this protest, it should be a nationwide protest, meaning we are now forced to converge to a specific place, because what I've been seeing over the past years since this government came to power, they always try to use that high water truck to put fear in people. So let everyone stay in that community and protest, come on the street and do it peacefully. That's the only way the protest will have impact. But if you guys say won't come together, they will try to intimidate people with a lot of police and carry cars around the high water truck, and then people be afraid. So stay where you are, do it peacefully, and let the world know that things are not fine in Liberia. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling, my brother. Do we have another caller? Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello?
So at least after this call, maybe one more, then we can go back to Mr. Jackson. After this call, one more, go back to
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to say here is, look, people always say the law is the law. What can these people sit over there and be causing problem that they cannot go to the law also? The previous people went to the law. Why they don't want to go to the law also? Why they keep causing problem?
Okay, thank you. Can we just squeeze in this one? We'll get back to Ahmed and Anthony. Hello, hello, caller.
Hi, this is where do calling from Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I called to participate, but I quickly want to take you back a little bit. At the as a Jackson, you concur with me on it. I remember it's on record of falsely accusing people to prison them on grounds that to achieve that aim. You remember the case with Andrew Double and Charles Jr. when they imprisoned them because they wanted Andrew Double to lie on Charles Jr. and they cannot honor his private part. They went to prison in court to testify against Charles Jr. that Charles Jr. was saying insurrection. Unfortunately, in publicly, Andrew Double confessed that he was tortured and coerced to lie to Charles Jr. That's the same thing happening to Council for Antifa today and others. Those that are being incarcerated have been tortured, coerced to lie on them. Because of this, the government is thinking that they are succeeding, which that they agree with them. So we should not allow this to continue to happen. If you keep putting certain group of people to the war, and they cannot fight through that war anymore, they're going to bounce back. So I caution our people, especially the folks from CDC, Georgia, when will you talk? The folks are being dragged around. Yesterday, Thomas' father was defeated by that was the wrong. After he defeated the other lady, and then he think that he would have made a comeback. Unfortunately, he saw the bullet was moving for Thomas' father and others. In 2023, the same bullet collected him. Today, it's that different zero, Kasofona Kekufa and others, Abu Kamar and others, that are in prison. Don't be surprised. You, Georgia, you are the target. Sit down and think that you are war peace ambassador. When they're ready for you, there will be no one to stand up for you. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling so much. So that get back to our panelists, Julius, Ahmed, and then Anthony Jackson.
Okay. So quickly, and so we can get to Anthony Jackson here. I heard people speak of whether Anthony Jackson will be on ground. It's very comical to hear people talking about those who are advocating for you. Oh, can't be your on ground. Look, whether or not Anthony Jackson comes on ground, he's in a country that provides what he needs. Get this right. This man's wife works, he works, his kids will be protected. He will never be stopped of admission to any medical institution to say if his daughter, God forbid, okay, or any relative of his was to be admitted at a hospital, unlike you in Liberia, they will never stop them. They will actually treat them before they ask for money. But I just heard a few days ago, a woman died at the hospital because she was denied access. And I think she was in the process of giving birth, something like that. It was you, Isaac, you and I, when we spoke earlier today, right? You told me the story. A woman died. She was denied access to the hospital, and she died at birth, child's birth. That would never happen in the United States. I'm not saying people don't die here, but if that were to happen, if that woman were to be denied access to the hospital, you know the hospital will have to go through a lot. So when people are making these claims and asking you to stand for yourselves, it's not because they're simply in interest. And again, I believe I can see where you're coming from. You have been deceived so many times. There are people who have purported as advocates or as activists who have deceived you. They sold out in the process. So I don't see why you would not feel upset, and I see why you will feel betrayed and don't want to trust any advocacy. But I want you to see reason to stand up for yourself, and don't wait for no hero. Let not Isaac Jackson be your hero. Let not Lofa Julius, Nashu, anybody else be your hero. You be your own hero. Stand up and fight for yourself, because that is where you will prove your sincerity and loyalty to what you believe in. That is good life, good governance. You don't believe in yourselves? You don't think your kids deserve better than what they are going through today? Have you seen how many times government officials consistently disregard the rule of law, and you are consistently submitting yourselves to them? At what point in time will you consider yourselves to be just as important as those who are flying private jets? I submit on that point. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah. As we
Yeah.
saw a large number of the callers today indicated their support and willingness for the protest. From Nimba to the United States to Morovia to Grand Bassa, diverse callers from different places, different sections called to say the thing is about time. So as we go about to answer some of the concerns they raise, I want to highlight two. One, what ultimately, a collective, a united people stand up sending a message of highlighting that they deserve better. That is, no. What ultimately could be achieved? What could they have done for themselves, for their children? What precedent could they have set that tomorrow perhaps the children will look and say, yes, in the days when our constitution was violated, when this were happening there, my father, my brother, my sister stood up to send a message that no, you are the president, but you do not own the country. So what ultimately was the protest achieved? And two, how do you emphasize the issue of safety, protection for the protesters? I think among anything the callers said in their support of it, those are some of the concerns. I thought that as you address the questions and comments.
Yeah, for me, I've been scribbling some things down, so I was. You excuse me, let me wear my glasses, so I'll be able to see some of the things I've been writing down. No, but I think the callers, one or two that were trying to be propagandistic, I can respond to them by saying politely that if you are not feeling the pain of the misgovernance of Mr. Bwaka, then you are not compelled to join the protest. When somebody asks you, oh, Mr. Jackson should come and join the protest, obviously I am willing to join the protest. But that person who is, I believe, a Unity Party person and pretending to say that, oh, when you call for protest, you must be in the front, I am willing. But ask yourself, when was the last time Mr. Bwaka or his son, who is now a millionaire overnight in 2 years, when was the last time you saw them in a protest? You never saw Mr. Bwaka's son in any protest. Today, Mr. Bwaka's son make more money than you, who they send to be caller on the radio. And I've been in government before. I was there for some good years. I served as one of the spokespersons for the Selly administration. I'm not apologetic about it. I think Madam Selly is a good person. I think her regime did well. The other government, there were challenges. But callers brigade are people who the government will give $50 to at the end of the month. If Mr. Bwaka's son and people at the Ministry of Information, if they're giving you $50 to buy your Strash car and maybe $150 to give you every month, in the next 6 years, will you be anywhere close to 500,000? No. But Mr. Bwaka's son may be hovering around 5 million or 6 million. That will be in his account. So if you are a Unity Party person who they are manipulating and using you not to stand up and say, no, what Mr. Jackson and other people are talking about is true. Our poor market women need to be empowered. They need microcredit loan. Oh, Mr. Jackson is talking true. Bwaka's son will not be millionaire while our mothers Our sisters don't have money to go to maternity center to deliver. Oh, it is true. It's true. We need the maternity ward should be free because our uncles, our pa, they are not working. They need to go. My sister, if you had a sister or a mother or an auntie or a niece who deliver outside and had the faith that woman in peace they have, you will not come here and call on behalf of United Party and say, oh, Mr. Jackson must join protest for. I don't mind joining the protest. I'm willing and I'm ready to join the protest. That's why when Molu called me, I didn't hesitate. I said, brother, I will explain things for you guys, for all of us, for the country, not just for you guys, but for the country. Because I know the government is doing something dangerous. So let that person ask himself. Boyka's son never participated in any protest, but his son is a millionaire now. You think they're going to make you millionaire by being a color brigade member? That's it. When you go to bed tonight, and all of the people who Boyka government have recruited to be brigade members. I hear my other picking more dividing money. My young people that one, more dividing money, but beginning to be ready on Facebook. More preserve over donor money and small money from Liberia to run the water point all around. He said 250,000 were used to refurbish or to construct a kiosk in Bapolu. In less than 1 week, that is not working. At least with that money, it will check her, maybe some begin pocket. But by operating like that, more at the end of 6 years, he will be comfortable. You would have made brigade member to be calling, talking yama. Are you going to be far? You been here 500,000? No. So we are talking for you. You need to join the protest. You know, the question you ask is a good question. What will be the ultimate result when the people stand up to protest for their rights? The first thing you're going to do, the first result you're going to achieve is that you will send a clear, convincing message to the government not to take you for granted. That is the first thing you will achieve when you protest, when you stand up and say, I have a right, and this right must be protected. The government will never, ever take you for granted. Malcolm X, he said, when the Constitution says all power is inherent in the people, which is consistent in our both Constitution, our 1847 Constitution, you read Article 2, it says that all power is inherent in the people. The 1986, Article 1, all power inherent in the people. The consistency is there. So if you are in constitutional law, interpreting constitutional law, they call it originalist. Right? If you're an originalist or a strict textualist, you will still know that there is consistency in our law that all power inherent in the people. But Malcolm said that power of the people is not in their what? Their plea. It's not in their submission. It's not in their plea, in their begging. No. He said that power is in their what? Their refusal. When the people say no, we will not take it. There where you see the power of the people come into full. That's what Malcolm, right? All power in the people. The power is not in their what? Their plea. It's in their what? Their refusal. That's why in America, one woman, Rosa Parks, right? Rosa Parks, he said, I'm not going to sit, I'm not wake up here. She refused. She said, I'm not wake up. Enough is enough.
Yeah, Rosa Parks.
Winston Churchill, he's quoting Alexander the Great in one of his speeches. He said, Alexander the Great remarked that the people of Asia, they were enslaved because they did not learn how to pronounce the word no. For the government to respect you, all power inherent in you, that power is a power to say, no, we will not take this. Enough is enough. If you refuse to learn how to pronounce no, the government will take you for a ride. If Kofa were going to say, no, I will not take this, the government lying on me. All my people in Grand Crew, you can't stand out here. Your protest. The government will pay attention. If the CDC say enough is enough, we will not take this. The government violated our rights. to the headquarters, to our headquarters, invaded our premises without any such warrant. The government zoomed people in the CDC headquarters, claiming to go search for drugs. Even if you want to go to CDC headquarters to check for drugs, you needed a such warrant. That's what civilized government do. The people did it, nothing happened. CDC got not say enough is enough. You're not going to run on our lawmaker and put bogus charges on them and undermine their standing in society. No, we will not take this. This is where the power is inherent in the people. The ability, Michael said, your ability to say no. So I am calling on the people. That's the first thing they will do, right? When they show up, they're telling a message to the government that you can't take us for granted. And everywhere around the world, somebody say, oh, well, they pretend do nothing before. No, you're right. Protest everywhere around the world has yielded its dividend. In America, when Martin Luther King and his friends marched 1967, they put pressure on the government. And what happened in 1964? They passed the Civil Rights Act. That's what it is. Mahatma Gandhi, Great Britain superpower, sitting on the neck of Indian people, enslaving them. He said, no, we're protesters, brother. He drove them out of the place. Go to the Czech Republic. When the people protest, the communist government came down on its knees. Brother, the government is not above the people. What broke the backbone of apartheid South Africa? It was Nelson Mandela, consistent with his brothers. They had to give in. What are you talking about? Oh, protest. Yeah, brother. When we protest, we are standing on the shoulders of the great men. You're standing on the shoulder of Martin Luther King. You're standing on the shoulder of Mahatma Gandhi. You're standing on the shoulder of Nelson Mandela. Even on the shoulder of our own Gabriel Bacchus Matthews. You can cow. You can kowtow to the power that be. You got to straighten your back. If you really, and let's quote James Bowie. You know, James Bowie is a prolific American writer. What the guy say? The guy said, when you love something so much, he said, love will make you to fight in time and space. And in the end, he said, you will win. If you love Liberia so dearly, and you see Liberia being raped and violated like Bwaka's doing, you really need me to tell you to protest, bro. You don't need me, brother. If you genuinely love Liberia, and you say Liberia is a country of law, and you see the president elevating himself above the law, doesn't respect the law, passing all sort of instruction, and people are being, humiliated and disgraced in the streets. CDC chairman who should have standing, who have his right to march in solidarity, bundle in the pickup truck in an undignified manner. You still say, I can't protect, but I will come. But let me say this. I'm answering the question. It's a better cup that is being served. One caller called and he talked about Julu. That caller, he goes into history. It's an interesting history. The thing with the Julu thing, a double said he was tortured. Wrong. No government should torture anybody to extract statement from them. They should willingly give those statements up. But that guy concluded with something. That person who concluded with something. He concluded with something that I started with when I was quoting Winston Churchill. The first foretaste of a bitter cup that will be served. This bitter cup that is being served to Kofa, it was I think they passed it by snow. But Ure daughter is the one. In fact, I understand they're trying to investigate. I said, Ure get in Lunsta. The guy said, Joe, the cup that is serving around may come to you. If they break down all your support system around you, what do you think they're going to do? Machiavelli said, if you want to break the guy down, like Machiavelli, right? He said, if you want to break the guy down, you don't go at him first. You deal with all his small soldiers around him, make him vulnerable. Then he will be left alone. He will not see you coming. That's what the people doing. If they break off our backbone, they already finished taking too much for that. Whatever circumstances he went, whether it is honor, he Lofa connection that he went to Boaka farm. How they call the other man? The guy who was the popular guy in Maserati candidate, Sir Joseph. Very lukewarm now. If they start breaking all your people around you, Johnny, any small mistake you made, Boaka will sit on your neck. Don't fool yourself, brother. Now is the time to say, we got to do something, brother. We got to do something. So that's where we are. The other colors we're talking about, and I like the color from Nimba, right? He said, my man, we be betrayed. The people from Nimba who are betrayed, I would encourage Brother Molu. I don't know whether you following the show tonight. Whoever following the show, to let Brother Molu know that the brothers who are in Nimba who feel betrayed by Mr. Boaka. Mr. Boaka tactically sent Prince Johnson to a premature grave. There's no debate about this. He's tortured that old man psychologically, brought war crown coat and put that albatross around his neck, and Prince could stare the war crown coat in his face. Kun could not help him. Prince Johnson video recording said he went to Kun. He said, my man, war crown coat come, you gotta give me some money to get good lawyer. He said, my Kun gain 5,000. So even Kun, who his man, his protege, couldn't help him. Correct? He gave him 5,000. The 5,000, you guess you a lot of war crown coat. Prince Johnson looked at him for long. His stress level went up. He fell out in the barroom. Today he gone. The people of Nimba who feel betrayed by this, we need to provide them means of transport to come and join the rally in Maserati. The guy who called.
I just saw you, just to add up there, they had a mini protest on the day that the 1.5 billion quote unquote metal was being and all of their lawmakers on grounds that the living conditions, I mean the quote unquote,
yes, the standard of living
does not reflect the living condition of the people, from roads to hospitals to living to houses and stuff like that. So,
but all these, you're right. All the concession agreements that have been run through, it's run through to the benefit of Boaka and his son and family, not to the benefit of the people in Nimba who in the squalor condition. So those brothers and sisters in Nimba who feel betrayed by the regime, we need to provide them vehicle to come. Because the other caller, I don't know where he called from, but he said, will you just protest in our very area? No. The way to do it, we all come to the capital, and we're just going to deviate small from the standard where people go to Capitol building. We're not going to go this time around. We're not going to the Capitol building, because protests all around the world, you got to go to the seat of government and you got to read something called the petition and tell Mr. President, we want A, B, C, D done. Because Article 17 say what? You must assemble and you must what? A petition the government to do right. You can petition the government from standing in different areas. You all come together and you go. We're not going to the Capitol building this time around because we think the element in the Capitol building are inherently corrupt. My sister Nyomli Kanga Lawrence is complicit in this thing. She is unmolested by her incompetence and ignorance. When she said she took the Minister of Justice advice to pass the budget. The Minister of Justice is advisor for President. Where you go to advice from him? So normally we're not going to petition her. We're not sending petition to her. Kun Umpa, he's doubly illegal. Kun came as a result of an orchestrated coup that was found out by Mr. Boaka. We're not sending petition to him. We're going to Boaka himself at the executive mansion. He has to face angry people, face to face. And angry people will read their petition. And Malcolm X said, if he doesn't bend, meaning if he doesn't do what we're asking him to do, we'll push him until he breaks. And if he's broken, then new hearts and new hands will build the new Liberia that will lift Liberia up and not lift a section of Liberia out in violation of Article 5. You know what the thing Boaka has succeeded in doing in the government? Boaka has said, let me end this on this. Boaka, one more question.
The guys in studio are having some technical issues, so they are off. Just to let you guys know, I'm gonna have to kind of slip off.
We wrap up.
Rapper,
So
let's just
let Rapper.
Rapper,
So
I would leave you guys on so you can continue. But
no, don't leave her on, Mama. We just
No,
Rapper. Let me just go, Mama.
the man rapping up.
Don't leave anybody on Rapper. So I just let me in concluding. Let me say to that guy that one of the things that Bwaga succeeded in doing is to sectionalize the country, right? Which is violative of Article 5. On top of the tribalization that he's doing, the Constitution says you can sectionalize. Today, it is the north central region of the country that runs the country, that runs the government. The people who run the government, vast majority of them from Lofa, correct? So it's a tribalized government. But then he picked up some influential people from Bon and Nimba. So the whole government in the central, this thing had damaged the Severonian politics that was Bwaga bringing here. And we got to protest against this as well. But they protest in conclusion, it will bring on board our family people who were shot and killed in Grand Cape Man for protesting too. We want them on board. It's about the rights of those people who were murdered, those 3 boys who were killed. The same police people, Gregory Coleman and people killing people for protesting wrong. The motorbike riders. It is shameful that the Liberian government will make a law excluding the motorbike rider from going to the capital city. The motorbike rider, moreover, should not be a segregated place. It should not be place for people who wear costume or people who speak fine English. Everybody to be subject to one traffic regulation. If a man is a motorbike rider, I was in London for 5 years. If you carry your motorbike in the city in London and you engage in traffic infraction, you will take your motorbike, you get 24 hours to go retrieve it. And you don't retrieve it, Liberia doesn't have that equipment because these heavy machines, right? Like a made a motorbike turn to door, they just squeeze it, let it crawl. Okay? They smash it up. There gotta be law. But you can't say motorbike should not come to Monrovia. If motorbike comes to Monrovia and they engage in traffic violation, we punish them. But the way the government took the motorbike rider money and suddenly told them that you not come to the capital, we think it's unfair. It took tax money from those people who are giving them the right. Motorbike rider, we want you to join the rally. We want your rights to be protected. And these are the things we're talking about. All right? I'm sure I've tried my best not to leave something. Okay, the guy said, they burn the building, and they sort of call Safoco. Let me tell that person. He said, he's going to cancel us soon. My friend, there's nothing wrong with inviting Safoco. When Safoco made a clarification, said, look, what I said was metaphorical. I was metaphorically speaking. I was not talking about actual fire to come in the building. And if the police investigated him, that's fine. But that man who called, was he concerned about the blood that was spilled in the street?
Is it just me or he's glitching?
Yeah, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. So let me say to that guy, while it is true that I like the Capitol building, if you read the Bible, like many Liberians can go to churches, they go to church, they go to Christian. Only one king, not one, but the king in the Bible that was pronounced for respecting empty edifices and devaluing him on left, our king Nebuchadnezzar.
He's getting calls.
Yeah, so
Capitol building, they made law and steal from poor people. I don't know whether like electric shop burned the building, but the investigation needed to be transparent. The people got angry because that building represents a symbol of corruption. People go to that building and make laws and steal from poor people. If somebody got angry and put fire there, brother, that's it. Let's get to the bottom of it. But when I worship the building more than the human being that were flogged, the people who were flogged, who blood got spilled in the street because of the Capitol building, has the government done any justice? Anybody investigating that? Nobody investigating. So they just beat up people for free. This is what the protest seeks to address, that the government will respect the rights of citizens. Why the government crying over the building? Let's respect the rights of the citizens. People who got flogged over there, let them give them their rights.
So
And police who flog them, let the police people be prosecuted for flogging peaceful citizens who want to go protest.
Yeah, so as we depart on this, what about people who in other parts of the country, they're in Benjide, Nimba, Lofa, Basso, and they are concerned, they have their own issues, and they want to be a part of this protest that says, look, enough is enough. They want to be able to at least have a place where they can express themselves, stand up for something. How do they get in touch with the organizers, the people, to be able to understand how they plan themselves toward that end? Is there any contact?
Yes,
where do they go
yes, the way we're doing it, there's a guy called George Tengbe. Tengbe is the secretary for the stand and we the people. They got a headquarters in Monrovia there. Molu is there, but there's an organizing committee that's behind this whole thing. Those people can reach out to the organizing committee. And this is why we are even encouraging some of the Liberian citizens who have means, who have financial consequence, to start to donate. You know, they got the how you call my young brother created the GoFundMe page for people to chip in something. You know, we need to get water for the people who will be coming. If we got large number of people coming from particular country, then we can make, you know, at least a bus available to bring them towards the capital. So there where we need people with financial consequences. I was talking about Brother Ure. You can't sit down, they better call passing around. And you know, Bwaka is unforgiving. You know, sometimes our people, I wonder what happened to us. I was talking at Kofa, right? And a few of the lawmakers over there, and I'm looking at, if the guy who Bwaka went to school with, people who and myself went to school, who are considered friends, who are professed in public, identify as a friend. If in the name of politics, Bwaka had the audacity, unbridled audacity to lie on his schoolmate, and Bwaka you trust? You not lie on Kumi? Bwaka lie on Kumi, and Kumi cry with hot tears. He got to go to London to bring an international group to clear his name.
Kumi need to be part of that protest as well.
So again, I'm just saying this to drive home the point that those who think Bwaka will forgive them, even though they stepped on a foot yesterday, they got to watch up. If he could lie on Kumis, what about Ellen, who made Bwaka vice president? Bwaka still had a list of grievances against her up to the time he became president. Amara said, I want in public. He said he went to go visit the woman. When I woman said, "Mama, everything your woman do to me, and you, I found out minister, brother, all you were in that thing. Amara was looking. He thought you were, you know, repented, right? So he went back to them. Where is he now? Is Amara in the room? He's not in the room. All of the people who are staunch Ellen supporter, you see them in the Bwaka government. Ask Bwaka, does he not know Medina Wise? Does he not know Community Wise? That Medina Wise is Community Wise. Community Wise is a progressive. He works with Medina Wise. It's strong Elena. Why is she not in the government? She's not in the government because I will conclude 1 minute. 1 minute, I'll conclude.
Hopefully you can use this. Include this in your statement.
So okay. Well,
just give me the opportunity. I want you to include this in your statement. A lot of folks are concerned, and a lot of people are talking about the face or the faces of the protest. People are talking about, oh, okay, the protest is happening this way. Look, the people who are at the forefront of the protest, why should these people be at the forefront? I want you to take some time and address the concern. And those are legitimate concerns from people who want to be a part of this because they have agreed to the reality on ground that the government is not governing as expected, but people who are part of it. So address the concern of people who may be concerned about the faces in the front of the protest and why it is important that they don't focus on those who are part or those who are in the front of it. Instead, look at what the government is doing. I want you to address that part of it.
Yeah, good. Okay. So before I address, I will infly with this thing about Medina. I was just trying to give an example of how Bwaka is unforgiving and how vindictive he is, very dangerous. Even those who are, they claim to be those who are Unity Party people, and who were most close to Ellen Sally Johnson today, they're not rearing their hair in the government. Why are they not doing so? It's because they were lukewarm about Bouakar's presidency. One key person is Madina Wise. Her husband is the progressive, but she's not anywhere around, right? Because Bouakar's still treating her with contempt. That's how unforgiving this man is. Even though Madina's big sister, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, made Bouakar vice president for 12 years, he's still not trying to forgive that woman for being lukewarm. That's the man you're dealing with. When Bouakar won, he spoke against it that I can't speak, but a Gisi friend of mine who is in the security quoted him to me. He said, the papa said, your who were here causing him, he will drag your mouth in Gisi. The people speak Gisi, they can say, Bouakar said, people who in politics, how can you be in politics for 40 plus years and you say you will not sustain some verbal, displeasure? To say, oh, somebody calls you, yes, somebody criticize you. Criticize you is a cause. And he said it in Gisi. So the guy called me, the Gisi police, he called me and said, my man, you be careful. The Papa said, he's a good talking at him, but he will drag your mouth in a time. That's the mentality he comes to public power with. So he using public power to hurt people, to pay back grudges. If you sitting down and fooling yourself, the job will be on you. Those who got financial consequences, who Bouacar treating with contempt, who feel betrayed, even Unity Party people who supported him and feel betrayed, you come to the protest. The protest will be your way of telling Mr. Bouacar enough is enough. Don't sit down in the need of being Unity Party man. You Unity Party man, that party you're not enjoying rock. Is it Unity Party better? Why you don't join also we can make the country better for all to enjoy it? This is what the protest seeks to address. Now, for those who are saying that, oh, yeah, the protest not correct, but look at I see Baba Modu there. Look at I see other guys in better. We all are human beings. We have our frailties, our folly. We have our own weaknesses. And nobody on this heaven is perfect. But at least we have been able to identify that the country is not on the right track, that the country is in danger, that Liberia democracy is experiencing a nervous breakdown. You can't find anybody on this heaven who will be Jesus Christ's first cousin. We all have our own imperfection. But if you can come on board with your perfection by some process or what social osmosis, your perfection can cross over some of us. And you can deny accountability. The last time when I was speaking on I spoke on one of the radio stations, I said, hey, brother, you were to donate to our cash fund, what do you call it? GoFundMe. He can demand accountability. Hey, brother Cummings, who Bouacar lie on and remain unforgiving of Cummings. If Cummings wants to support the protest, let him ask for accountability, but he should not say bad. Even George Weah, you want to support the protest, support the protest. The protest organizers are comprising of what? Men and women of all political parties or all political persuasion. They ain't belong to one political group. Come you got some money, put it there. Look, Ellen was so determined to fight injustice in Liberia, so much so that everything that was opposed to injustice, she put fire inside. Father, she put it inside. Malcolm X said, the people who criminalize you can't be the one to tell you what method to use to move them from your back. That's the party supposed to be telling you what measure you must use. You think Ellen was looking at those to say, let her political conversation through her when Doe not even following any law. The people who criminalizing Kofa, that they're the ones who tell Kofa how he must resist. The people who criminalizing Abu Kamara, that they're the ones who tell Abu Kamara, this is how you must resist better. The people who criminalizing you are not the one who's going to determine what course of conduct you choose. The course of conduct you choose is within your purview.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying to Liberian people, you may not be comfortable with me, but brother, You can come, bring your 2 cent idea, and demand accountability from us. If everything I say here today, God forbid, the protest succeed and I try to go contrary, remind me. Like I said today, all of us who participated in the protest, God willing, the protest succeed and you see us engaging in any ostentatious lifestyle. Organize another protest. As a jazz, your maternity ward going to be free. You succeeded. The maternity ward that day, I'm a girlfriend here. As a Jackson, you say you're not going to fly or zero, you're not going to ride or zero class. We see you riding Mercedes Benz. My man, you scared. The same thing I'm doing to boy can't do it to me. If I were to do it, God forbid, I would never do that.
I own my own Mercedes before I got to be a part of y'all.
So maybe if you get a Mercedes, you go to that bro, you're dropping, getting Peugeot. So that would be our standard. That would be our standard. You know, that's my man. That is our standard. That's a progressive standard. But the point I'm making here is, my man said, you say Mercedes, you want package. No, but comrades, you know, I'm trying to reach to a place where we got to be authentic. Imagine the betrayal of our people when Bouaka conscientiously told the Liberian people that flying private jet was sucking, was draining the economy. Today, the people are finding plausible way to provide justification why he flying private jet. An 80-year-old man who could not keep his word. Where do we put this man? Private jet was not good. It was draining the economy. Today, he fly private jet. The first promise he made to the country is that his cabinet will be inclusive of what every country in the country. That other promise, he broke it. His own friend Amara reminded him, Amara said, the other promise he can't break it. The cabinet is more driven toward Lofa. The 80-year-old man who cannot keep his word, you think we should not challenge him? Let's challenge him, comrades and friends. Let's remind him. If it's a dementia that he's suffering from, let's remind him. Say, Papa, we can't go that way continuously. You said this, you're doing different things. Even your war on drugs, where is it now? Drug is engulfing the entire country. It's becoming a national disaster. It's an emergency. It's a national health emergency in Liberia. Where the war on drugs, no war on drugs. Where the war on poverty, no war on poverty. When the black and people enjoying. So, but in conclusion, let's encourage our people. You may have problem with Julius. You don't let Julius. One get the Julius for drag. But brother, yeah, one day you're not kind of protest, then you're not ready. Bring your one cent idea. Let's work together. Let's work together. You may not let Isaac Jackson bring your 1 cent idea. Let's work together. We need to work together for the betterment of our country. Look, Ellen Johnson Sally. Maybe if I say Ellen Johnson Sally, but even the Bouaka man, right? If Bouaka could make General Boneke to go to NSC, if they can work with, if they can impose Boneke on you, my man, what sin that NOO have committed compared to Boneke? But Boneke is going to be to NSA. Let tussle and tussle, brother. The man who probably say I kill human being, not only human being, but I break the women's stomach open. He to NSA and you can't. I'm not criticizing Ellen Johnson earlier, but in the name of people changing their jersey, Ellen appointed Jean Flomoyan. Jean Flomoyan was an active political actor, a progressive brother, to be National Election Commission chairman. We worked with him for 12 years. He said, I changed my jersey.
I already got to go, though. I have an appointment.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, let's work with everybody. If we were to work with Flomoyan, let's work with Molu. He changed the jersey. He said, man, yeah, let's work with him. Man say, in political party, let's work together for the betterment of our country. We'll be here for another day to talk about the protest, but we think the way Bouaka going is wrong, and let's stand up and tell him enough is enough. Thank you tonight for following us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you, Julius.
Yeah.
It was a good show. It was a good show. So we see you another day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Great show. You guys have a good night. Thank you to the Closing Argument family for allowing us to use this opportunity to share the message. You guys have a good night.